Hi, everyone. I'm Carrie Pena alongside Brandon Lee, and we want to welcome you to Good Morning Sunshine. This morning with us in the studio, we want to welcome Laurie Goldstein, who is a mental health advocate. We so appreciate you being here with us.
I appreciate you having me on.
Your resume is a lot longer than mental health advocate because, I mean, you are truly such a rock star in this space. I can't say enough good things about you. You have a son, Alex, who's now 34 years old. We had the opportunity to share his story, the journey of walking through mental illness. And we shared that story at the Copa Health gala that recently happened. Why did you want to step out and tell the story of the difficulty that you've had with Alex in hopes of helping others?
Because I think for Alex and for us, it's been a success story, but that's not the case often with others. I think that we don't provide everyone the opportunity to have the support and the structure, the amount of time so a person can gain insight. So we have, approximately about 5% of the population will have mental illness, and a smaller percent will have serious mental illness, so either schizophrenia, schizoaffective, bipolar, major depression. And it's really critical in those early phases when someone is having their psychiatric break, typically early, 19s, 20, 21, that they have enough time, stability time, in a treatment center or a hospital. And typically what happens is there's these short-term stays, 7 days, maybe 2 weeks. That's not enough time, especially if one doesn't have insight. So if they don't believe they're ill, why would they take the medication? So for Alex, after a lot of advocating, we were able to get him a long period of time in a hospital, which is what he needed to gain insight that he does have an illness, he does need to take his medication, and he would stop, running away from treatment facilities. There are a lot of folks that think that no one should ever have forced involuntary treatment, but for someone that doesn't realize that they're ill and their brain's being damaged by these episodes of psychosis, it's critical. We don't let people with Alzheimer's walk down the street. Why would we do that with someone that their brain doesn't have the capacity or capability at that time? I'm not saying that people should live insecure forever, just a short period of time to gain insight, then step down. But we don't have enough beds.
Because that was Alex's story. He did not think he was sick. And so for more than a decade, you and your husband were trying desperately to help him. And you're both very successful people. Your husband's a retired physician. And even the two of you, at your level of success and resources, you did not know what to do.
It was hard because he would leave a hospital, be placed in an open community home with staffing, and he'd just walk off. He'd run away. Yeah. Because he didn't want to be there. He didn't want to take these meds, and who were these people?
Where do we as a society and a community, and especially within the healthcare field, where do we have to step up in order to be advocates for those who don't have advocates?
As a society, we have to do a better job. I don't believe that people with serious mental illness belong in jails and prisons, but if you fail people and you don't give them the right care that they need, they may end up there through typically crimes of just being homeless, but often crimes, if there's in a psychotic state, they can be more serious crimes. So I think that we should do a better job of providing community support, housing with staffing, and also secure residential, which we had legislation at the Association of the Chronically Mentally Ill, also known as ACMI, passed in 2019. We still have not had one built, but what that would be, it would be like a community setting, a community home with staff, but you couldn't leave the premises. And in order to go there, you would have had to fail the other systems. And then you would be assigned there through the court system, not because you've committed a crime, but because the other levels of care you haven't been successful with. So you go there for a period of time, you gain insight, and then you step down to a lower level of care, maybe in a community setting with some supervision, maybe with an ACT team. And you guys know about ACT teams?
Yes, I
Okay.
do. Yeah.
So some people fail even with the highest level of community support there is. And for all purposes, practical purposes, we don't really have a state hospital. We have 55 beds for Maricopa County, which is over 5 million people. And we have 117 total beds, that includes the 55, for the state, which is over 7 million. And the American Psychiatric Association says you should have 50 to 60 beds per 100,000. So we should have 2,000 or more. We have essentially 1 per 100,000.
We all know housing is the foundation. Housing is the foundation to helping someone with overall health outcomes, right? And so how has COPA in that sense been a help to not only you and your husband, but to Alex as well?
Dr. Mike Franzak, who works at COPA, recognized that there's this big canyon, that people fall into when they step out of births and they go to community. So he came up with a lighthouse. It's kind of an enhanced community living home where there's still staff, but you don't have to go and fall into the canyon and then have to recycle back into a hospital, into a birth. So they stepped up and created these homes with staffing. Now, there are other agencies in town that have done it also, but we don't have enough. I know COPA is stepping up to do a apartment complex in Tempe.
La Victoria.
Yeah, with staff on site, which will help for those that can be a little bit more independent but still need structure. But I think we need more. We need more
And Alex
housing.
is thriving, I want to say, in this lighthouse model, and we'll show some photos here on the screen of the actual house. It's a nice house. It's just staffed so that he makes sure he takes his meds, follows along with the protocols to keep him healthy, because he has schizophrenia, right? A form of schizophrenia. And I found it interesting when I interviewed him that, we talked about his marijuana use over the years, and he was trying to just numb out this pain from not understanding what was going on with him. And I was just so happy to see his happiness in where he is today. When he stepped on stage to receive the Triumph Over Adversity Award at the Copa Health Gala, Copa Cares, what did that feel like for you as a mom who's walked on that journey for so many years and stood by his side? What did that feel like for you?
We're very proud of him because, Alex is very kind-hearted and intelligent, and sometimes he can look at his life and say, why me? Why do I have to have this horrible disease? Why do I have to? And I said, everyone has something, so you're better because of it. You can help other people. You're now a role model. He helps other people in his home and other places do things. And a cute story, so another wonderful healthcare leader, Larry Villano, of Resilient Health. Alex is going to teach Larry how to play guitar. So he's going to give him guitar
great.
lessons.
That's
This is cool.
awesome. Yeah, what a moment for Larry too.
Yeah.
I know Larry. That would be amazing. I got to take some video and pictures of that. And lastly, I really want to talk about how important it is to have housing and programs for folks like your son Alex. Importance for parents and families too, because you want your child to have a life of independence. Like, as a parent, you want your child to be independent. But I think sometimes what gets lost in is that all the focus is always, on folks like Alex, the care, the treatment, and whatever. And it begins to have impacts on the outside family's life as well. And I just wonder, how important was it to you as a parent to be able to see that your son doesn't have to live under your roof day in and day out and have that responsibility, and able to have a life for you as well, so it's not always about Alex 24 hours a day, the independence important for you and also for Alex?
I think every parent's dream is that their kids grow up to be successfully independent. No one that I know ever wants to be a guardian forever. I mean, you step in and do it when you have to, but that's not something that's natural. That's not something that you want to do. You want your children to have independent lives outside of your own, because eventually parents are older, parents die. You know, they have to learn to navigate the world independently and have that relationship where you're still supportive, but you're still not in that parent-child relationship of caretaking.
So what Copa Health is doing is huge in this space, and there's a lot of momentum around that. The housing meeting healthcare, important, and thank you for all the work you're doing. If people want to find out more, like resources, they might be watching or listening to this segment, walking through a mental health journey with themselves or someone they love, where would you send them?
Well, Copa has a great line with Andy Arnowitz. So Copa has a family resource line. Also, ACMI, we advocate, and they can go online and send us a contact request as well. NAMI does basic training and family to family, and that's good. So I think I'd start there.
Yeah. There are resources.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a little frustrating because you have to search them out, but there are people, and Brandon and I work closely with Copa. They're ready and willing to help. So Laurie, thank you so very much. We appreciate you. And I was so glad to give Alex that award on stage.
I know.
That made my whole
I
day.
saw how proud he was just outside in the courtyard area and in that grotto area before the evening began. And you could see, he even said, I'm really, really proud of myself. And I loved seeing him say that.
Yeah.
Rather than somebody telling him, aren't you proud of yourself? You know, and he said, yeah, I'm really, really proud of myself. And that sense of pride is huge for him too, right? Because at that point, you've taken ownership. Yeah. You've taken ownership of what you need to do. And he's done the work to do it. And it was just awesome to see.
Thank you, Laurie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for watching this episode of Good Morning Sunshine. Since you're already here, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. Hit that little bell notification symbol. We'll send out an alert every time we upload a new episode.
Take care, everyone.